word about who we are and what we do. We are a completely specialist agency that deals directly in this area of brand funding content. We've been going for 5 years now, and we don't do anything else. Our mission is really to guide brand owners in this area. It's not easy. People who think putting brands together with content, whether it's major TV series or online or any sort of production, it's not an easy business. We believe it requires expertise. It's a complex world, and it particularly requires a genuine partnership between all the players. We have this sort of cliche we use that it's a bit like Princess Diana said, it's 3 people in a marriage. It's a broadcaster, production company, and a brand. And putting them together and making sure they work together is not an easy business. So we believe there's a role for specialists in this area. And we also believe that it's going to be incredibly important in future. I think there's a lot of disappointment amongst some of us who've been in this area that it hasn't grown faster. But that's going to change, and what's going to change it is, of course, the internet. And this is going to open up all sorts of areas that haven't been available before to brands. One very simple fact that people tend to forget about the internet, particularly TV production companies, is that it's not regulated. So all the problems you have with the Ofcom codes and the restrictions on the extent to which you can integrate a brand into programming can go away. So we increasingly encourage people to think in a far broader sense about where their brand can sit in the content. I'll go on to an example in a minute, which will show you a bit of how we've done that. The other point I want to make now, which we may come back to, is that broadcasters in this country, by and large, and I should say that the current company in the form of with the exception of Claire Hayes and from Virgin Media TV, broadcasters are a bit like the dinosaurs now. They can't change. They don't see what's coming. And I think already for a lot of them the opportunity has passed to engage with brands in a way that can genuinely drive new revenues and new ways of doing business with their traditional advertisers. The final point I'll make at this stage is that I think there's a fantastic opportunity for production companies. I don't know how many are here today. In this new world, and it's the opportunity that's delivered by niche broadcasting. Our belief is we're going to move quite quickly now into what is a 2-tier world of media content consumption, as you see the rapid growth of iPlayer, Hulu in America, and even ITV.com is coming up with some successful figures now. We're moving into a world where you can access any premium content whenever you want on a platform, on a screen that you want. If you can do that, why are you going to watch anything other than the premium stuff? Well, the other stuff I think people will watch in future increasingly is content that speaks to them about the interests that drive their life. It's their hobbies, it's the niche interests. And I think there's going to be a huge gap between massive production budgets at the top drama, film, etc., and programming that can be made really very cheaply as long as it's got the right tone of voice, the right expertise involved, and will be delivered increasingly online. And I think for production companies, this is a real opportunity and one they should look at. The example of what we do is a program called Road to V, which some of you may be familiar with. It's run for 5 years now on Channel 4 as a terrestrial broadcaster. It's 100% funded by Virgin Mobile. It's a search for 2 bands to open a stage at V Festival. They have to be unsigned. It starts as a web opportunity and mutates through to the TV version. But what it's taught us is the need to build properties. It's 5 years old. It started really, really small. It's now a much, much bigger thing, and it's getting more exciting all the time. And this year, we've started to introduce some new elements. We've got completely bespoke edits shot by a different team to the Channel 4 team that are producing programming that sits on the site. We're running all the shows on Virgin Media's VOD platform. We're running individual performances from bands on the website and on the VOD platform, and there's even going to be a mobile application through Virgin Mobile, obviously. So we're producing a lot of additional content. The format evolves. Again, it's back to the need to grow things. We didn't get it right straight away. Every year we've introduced new elements, and this year particularly we've introduced a lot of experts to comment, which has enriched the process. We've also started to work with other brands on this. Our partner is Sony Ericsson, So we've been able to provide them with edits that they want, and again, we've demonstrated to them online that we can give them a level of branding there that they wouldn't get from a traditional TV show. And it delivers strong results. 48% of people who see Road2V say their feeling towards Virgin Mobile and propensity to buy the product is increased by is increased, and they have a warmer response to the brand. And that's it. And that's just a quote, which is pretty promotional for us, which says why you need expertise and specialists in this area, from James Kidd, who's the Director of Marketing at Virgin Media.